The Dodgers lose the series to the Phillies. Blake Snell is headed to the IL. Was this an NLCS preview? All that more coming up next on the Dodgers Nation postgame show.
Another payoff. Benny got him with a slider. It's Teoscar Hernandez. Mookie masked. It's a grand slam. 83 to stop it and game ender.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Give me all your comments on all things Dodger baseball and what your reaction is to this little losing 2 out of 3 games. You win the middle game of the Dodgers, very, very close to sweeping the Phillies, but end up losing 2 out of 3. Both teams in this series combined for 12 runs. So a very evenly matched series. We could see these two in the NLCS with the Dodgers. They dropped the third game of the 3-game series in Philadelphia by a final score of 8-7. The Dodgers were trailing in this one, down by 4 runs. They were able to come all the way back. They come all the way back to take a lead after doubles by Mookie Betts and Will Smith in the 7th inning. They go up 7-6, but the bottom of that inning, they gave it right back. So we're going to break it all down. We're going to talk about this Dodgers pitching staff that just did not look crisp. Yes, the weather was a factor. Tyler Glasnow is somewhere still upset because he just didn't have that tool to just get all the dirt out of his cleats. Did not look comfortable there in that 3rd inning. Before that, he was great, but that 3rd inning really struggled with the walks. And this Dodgers team as a whole, 11 walks this afternoon in the city of brotherly love, and they scored on 5 of those 11 walks. So 5 of those 11 walks come around to score, and that was the game right there. The Dodgers just did not have a crisp showing from a pitching standpoint. We're talking about Andy Pages, too, who did not take a good route on the ball there in the 7th inning that led to the Phillies getting back on top. But let me know where you're representing Dodgers Nation from, and also what are your biggest takeaways from the loss today. So let's get into it, and then we'll get to you guys. So drop your comments down below, super chats. I'll get to those as well. But let's get into the action, because it was a wild and wacky game in the city of brotherly love where the Dodgers go on top early on. Teoscar Hernandez really was having himself a career day. Out in the 1st inning, he comes out after a Tommy Edman 2-out single. Teoscar Hernandez, he goes to the plate, 1-1 count. He takes a sinker, middle. He crushes it for a 2-run shot to give the Dodgers a 2-run lead early.
And Power drives this one the other way. Castellanos retreating, backpedaling. Whoa, goodbye. There's another home run for the Dodgers.
That put the Dodgers up 2-0. You felt good about an early lead. You feel good about Teoscar Hernandez, who's got off to a really, really good start this season. And then it was about having Tyler Glasnow, who was phenomenal in his last start. He had a consecutive scoreless inning streak at around 7, and he looked like he was going to dominate all afternoon. Bottom of the 1st inning, he punched out Schwarber, nasty curveball down in the zone, did walk Turner on 4 pitches. So even before the rain really got extreme, he did have some walks, but then a couple batters later, got Kepler to fly out to second, so no damage done. Then the bottom of the 2nd inning, you saw more strikeouts. He struck out Stott there with the 4-seam fastball up in the zone. Did give that infield single to Sosa, but then got some soft contact, got Marsh to ground to the pitcher. So it looked like it was going to be a long, successful outing for Tyler Glasnow, but then things changed in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The bottom of the 3rd inning, the rain picked up, and Tyler Glasnow's effectiveness went down. Marchand, he walked him on 5 pitches, just could not find that 4-seam fastball. Then he falls behind Schwarber 3-0, throws a couple strikes to get back in the count, but on the 6th pitch, he misses low and away with a 4-seam fastball. That put runners on 1st and 2nd. with Trey Turner at the plate. And then Trey Turner, he walked him, missed with a four-seamer down and in. There were some calls there that didn't go the Dodgers' way, some frustrating pitches that really should have been called strikes. But still, I mean, the balls and strikes, it just wasn't going in Tyler Glasnow's favor. And a lot of it was first pitch strike, just not getting that. It was ball one to Marchand, leads to a walk. Ball one to Schwarber, leads to a walk. Ball one to Turner, all leads to a walk. And then with the bases loaded, no outs, first pitch to Bryce Harper, and he hits a little bloop single on a hanging curveball up in the zone, and that scored Marchand to give the Phillies their first run of the rainy afternoon in Philly. That made it a 2-1 game. And then next batter, Kepler at the plate. Glasnow, he spikes a wild pitch. That scored Schwarber to tie things at 2, and then he doesn't finish off Schwarber to Kepler. I mean, Kepler falls behind the count. Then on the 5th pitch, he walks him. So another walk, and that was it. And Tyler Glasnow was noticeably frustrated out there on the mound. He stepped back from the mound. You saw him using the device there that's at the back of the mound when it's raining so pitchers can try to get some of that dirt out of their cleats. He was stepping on it, trying to use all the time in between pitches to get his traction. He just did not have his footing on the mound. You saw those cleats with all the dirt in them, and he just was not able to really get off the mound like we saw in the first couple innings. And I think for Tyler Glasnow, he's a guy that, it's a little different. I mean, this is not some guy who's wearing a size 10 or 11 shoes, right? This is a guy who wears size 16. So he's got big hush puppies down there. So I'm sure that was a factor as well. And then Dave Roberts, he had seen enough. He comes out, he takes Tyler Glasnow out of the game with the bases loaded, and his night, he goes 2 innings, gives up 5 earned runs on 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 5 walks, so he needed 60 pitches just to go through 3 innings, so 20 pitches per inning is how it kind of all averaged out. And then concern for me coming into this game was Alex Vesia. And Alex Vesia, he's been a workhorse for this staff early on. He has been great early on. And he comes into the game, very first pitch to Nick Castellanos with the bases loaded. And Nick Castellanos, he hits a grand salami to empty those bases. So he hits a grand slam. That put the Phillies up 6-2 at that point. And sure, it's a grand slam that opened the game wide open. You're going to have that throughout the course of the season, but the concern for me was the fastball velocity on that pitch. 89 miles per hour on that pitch for Alex Vesia. That's down. It's usually some guys, sometimes he'll hit 92, 93, have that live, have that induced vertical break. I do think that it possibly was due to the fact that Alex Vesia didn't get a lot of time to warm up, because you're expecting Tyler Glasnow to go at the minimum 5, hopefully 6, but that wasn't the case, so he was rushed out there on the mound. So hopefully it's nothing serious or anything like that, but Vesia is not going to be pitching Monday for sure. I guarantee that. He's going to be down. I think Jack Dreyer, too, won't pitch because he was fantastic. Jack Dreyer, the Maytag, absolutely incredible tonight for the Dodgers, giving them some relief. And then it was, okay, is this game over? It's a 6-2 game. The Phillies are a good team. It's the 3rd inning. They get 6 runs on 3 hits there in that 3rd inning. And Vesia did do a nice job kind of settling down. He got Stott to foul out. Did give the single to Sosa. We got Marsh to foul out. Velocity was still down, but he got Marchand to pop to short to get out of the inning. It was starting to go up a little bit, though. It went through 91 on his last 4-seam fastball of the inning. So I don't think that there's too much there. Maybe some fatigue, but definitely not a good spot for him to come in and just give that grand slam. You kind of feel like hopefully there, with Nick Castellanos hunting that fastball, knowing what's coming, that you would kind of get a little better pitch execution, sequencing there too, just kind of leaving the pitch up like that. I didn't like it there. But then top of the 4th inning, the Dodgers, they strike right back. Tay All-Star Hernandez at the plate up against Sanchez, 2-1 count. He gets another sinker. This time it's up in the zone, and he hits it out for his 2nd home run, and it's just the 4th inning.
As the starting pitchers were both still in.
They're both at the distance. Here's a shot down the line. Got a chance again. It is a fair ball and a second opposite field home run for Teoscar Hernandez.
So 2 Oppo tacos for Teoscar Hernandez. Really a career afternoon for him. And if there was anyone that was worried that Teoscar Hernandez was going to get his contract and get his bag and was going to just mail it in, no, that certainly hasn't been the case so far, because he's hitting .268, slugging .634, has a 159 weighted runs created plus, has hit 4 home runs and 3 doubles so far in 45 plate appearances to start the season. So it's been a really nice start for Teoscar Hernandez, who really put this Dodgers team on his back today. So credit to Teoscar Hernandez for really keeping this team in it and giving them a chance to win. And he looks like he's going to follow up his all-star season with another monster year in year 2. So great job for Teoscar Hernandez. He's getting my Dodgers dog of the game.
Dodgers dog of the game.
We got MB in the chat. People talking about Chris Taylor for some reason because he factored heavily into this game. So we got Kenny Chung talking about Andy Pages. We'll talk about Andy Pages in a little bit, guys, and we're going to focus on all your comments in a little bit. Let's get through this game here. But let's move forward in this one. You jump all the way to the top of the 5th inning. After a Shohei Ohtani strikeout. By the way, Shohei goes 1 for 11 this series. Not a good series for Shohei Ohtani, who was coming off that walk-off home run in the Dodgers' last home game. Well, yeah, he goes 1 for 11, but in that top of the 5th, after the Ohtani strikeout, Mookie Betts, he reached on an infield single to third. Couple batters later, Teoscar Hernandez at the plate. 0-2 pitch, great piece of 2-strike hitting. He takes a changeup down in the zone, doubles to left. That scored Tommy Edman to pull the Dodgers within 2, made it a 6-4 game. The Dodgers get 1 run on 2 hits there. Will Smith, he had a runner on second with the ability to add another run in Smith. He ended up striking out, swinging there for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Dodgers, they get a run back. They pull within 2 with a lot of outs left. And then Jack Dreyer was simply phenomenal. Got to give Jack Dreyer a ton of credit with the early career success that he's having. I interviewed him a couple weeks ago, and I said, hey, Jack Dreyer's a name that if you don't know, you better know. You better recognize this name, Jack Dreyer, because he is really a special pitcher. I think with the induced vertical break, the ability to just hit those corners like he does, the mindset that he has, the composure that he plays with. I mean, this is a pitcher that I certainly expect to help this Dodgers team all season long, even when the rest of the bullpen gets healthy. Jack Dreyer goes 2 1/3 innings today, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, did not allow a hit. His season ERA is down to 1.17. But Jack Dreyer, it wasn't dry out there in Philly, but he pitched through the rain. He pitched through the cold weather, and he gave the Dodgers a chance to win. Had the Dodgers won today, we'd be talking about Jack Dreyer and Teo getting those game balls. But bottom of the 5th inning, he goes 1, 2, 3. Really nice job punching out Stott. He dotted a slider right there on the outside corner. Then bottom of the 6th inning, this was really key in the Dodgers comeback. The 6th inning, Dreyer punches out Sosa looking. He does walk Marsh. Then he walks Marchand, and that was it. Really nice job by Dave Roberts coming out there. It was his 3rd inning of work, and he had already pitched 2 1/3. He comes out there, gives the ball to Kirby Yates, and Kirby Yates gets Schwarber swinging, really nasty splitter. He was down 3-0 in the count, and Kirby Yates, who's an absolute dog, by the way. I just love Kirby Yates. Love watching him pitch. He gets the count full, 6-pitch, strikes out with the splitter for the 2nd out, and then first pitch to Turner, he gets him to ground to second, and that ended the inning. And now it's the runners on 2nd and 3rd in a 2-run game. So Jack Dreyer, Kirby Yates, they combined to get that Dodgers offense off the field and into the dugout with a chance to go up in front. And the Dodgers, they came through in the top of the 7th inning. And yes, Andy Pages, it has been a very rough go. We're going to talk about Andy Pages in a little bit here. Very rough go of it for Andy Pages, but he does get a single to lead off the 7th inning, a leadoff base hit. That led to a Shohei Ohtani walk to put runners on 1st and 2nd, no outs. And then next batter, Mookie Betts at the plate. He hits a double to center. That pulls the Dodgers within 1.
And now Mookie Betts hits the ball hard to left center field. That's headed for the gap, and it's down all the way to the wall. Pages in to score. Ohtani stops at third on a Betts double.
Great piece of hitting there by Mookie Betts. Clutch base hit. He's been clutch all season long, and the time that he's been there has missed some time, but he's been big. And just like that, it's a 6-5 game. It looked like it was going to be another game where the Dodgers had no business winning, where they came back and won. Next batter, Tommy Edman, he flied to center, but then Teoscar Hernandez, he does it again with runners on second and third. Teo hits a sac fly to right. That scored Ohtani to even things up at 6. We're all tied in Philly. The comeback was on. The Dodgers erase a 4-run deficit. And then very next batter, Will Smith with Mookie Betts in scoring position, 1-1 count, and Smitty, he gets a double of his own, this time to center, and just like that, the Dodgers up 7-6.
Driven the other way. Castellanos going back. It is off the wall. Dodgers take the lead.
Great job there by Will Smith. He's gotten off to a really, really hot start so far this season, too. And then yet Michael Conforto with Smitty at second. He wasn't able to come through. He grounds to first. But the Dodgers get 3 runs on 3 hits there in that 7th inning. They take a 7-6 lead. The rally was on. The comeback was on. It was just about getting 9 more outs to finish that off. But then in the bottom of the 7th, Blake Trinan into pitch. Not the sharpest appearance for Blake Trinan, but the very first batter, Bryce Harper, he falls behind the count 2-1. Down the 4th pitch, leaves the sinker a little up, and Bryce Harper, he hits it to center. And on this play, Andy Pages, he's charging in, kind of veering towards right, and then he's kind of moving around, and then he just gets all the way turned around, and this just was not a good play by Andy Pages, and the Phillies were able to get a leadoff double.
Highline drive, center field. Pages twists around, and that thing eats him up. Harper's got a leadoff double.
I mean, just look at that play right there. I mean, he's going left, he's going right. I mean, it was not a good instinctive play by Andy Pages. And Andy Pages, if he wants to stay in this lineup, he's got to hit, but he also has to play some respectable defense too. I mean, just look at this right here. I mean, ball, yes, not a good pitch, hard hit ball, not an easy play, might have still gone for a hit, but still, I mean, that presentation-wise is not presenting yourself as someone who looks like he's a plus defender. Going left, going right, and we saw a couple games ago a similar situation where a ball is going over his head because he's not making the right read, just not taking a good route, not making a good read. And yes, he did get a base hit that led to that 7th inning where they were able to come back. But Andy Pages, he has really struggled so far to start this season. And we've talked about it ad nauseum on this show. It sounds like a broken record. And I'm not dogging Andy Pages. I'm just kind of telling you what I think this team is thinking at this point. And they're thinking, okay, let's see what we have from Andy Pages early, while Ha-Seong Kim is continuing to work on what we've taught him as far as him making some swing changes. Ha-Seong Kim told me himself that he was going to need some time to learn to hit big league velocity. And yes, it's not big league velocity down there, but still it is pitching that should be better than the KBO as far as velocity. And when Ha-Seong Kim is ready, if Andy Pages is struggling, you bring him Ha-Seong Kim, and then you have some options there, right? You can have Kim at second, where he can play potentially Gold Glove level defense, or Kim has been playing more center than second down at the minor league level. You can have him in center and see if he can handle that as well, and potentially platoon him with Kike Hernandez when Freddie Freeman comes back. But also, you have the other option as well to kick Tommy Edman out to center field and have Ha-Seong Kim play second. So Andy Pages, the fact that both those corner spots are locked with Teoscar Hernandez in right and Michael Conforto in left, those are veterans, those are all-stars, those guys getting the majority of those plate appearances, right? He's not playing those positions. He's got to play in center, only hit, and be an average to an above average defender. And right now he's doing none of those things. So I think that if this continues, it's going to happen, right? You're going to see Andy Pages get his spot taken. And so far this season, in 41 plate appearances after today, he's hitting 118, a 268 on base, slugging 147, a 37 weighted runs created plus. So that's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done. A 73% below league average production level. It's not going to get it done. Also, he's striking out at a 34.1% clip. He had just one extra base hit all season in 4 hits. So no RBIs. It just hasn't looked good for Andy Pages. I think the writing's on the wall. It's how many more weeks are we going to give this guy to see if he can get it done. And yes, it kind of went viral. Someone played a clip of Ha-Seong Kim showing some love to his teammates before the game. He didn't play. People were taking that as he's getting called up. I've been told that some scouts down there don't think he's completely ready just yet. They want to see him get some more time. He has improved a lot, but we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with Ha-Seong Kim. But the Dodgers, you're down 7-6. You still have a chance to win this game, but unfortunately, they just weren't able to hold on. And defensively, they made some really good plays. We saw some big double plays in this one. But we also saw some plays where, okay, it's defense that looked sloppy. And, yeah, you look at that, you look at the bottom of the 7th inning as we continue here. He ends up walking Kepler on 4 pitches, does Blake Trinan, gets Castellanos to fly to right, and then with runners on first and second, Stott singled to right. That scored Harper to tie things up at 7, and then very next batter, Sosa, he hit into a fielder's choice to third. The Dodgers were very, very close to completing a 5-4-3 double play. Max Muncy did a really nice job of fielding that one, making a strong throw to second. Tommy turned it, threw a bouncer to Kike. Kike did a nice job digging it out, but Sosa is incredibly fast. They looked at it for a second, and he did get there in time. The Dodgers did not get the double play. That scored a run. That put the Phillies back on top at 8-7. So the Phillies get 2 runs on 2 hits there in that inning. And unfortunately, the Dodgers, that was the last comeback they had in them. Top of the 8th inning, the Dodgers go down 1-2-3. Pages strikes out on a 92-mile-per-hour four-seamer, kind of up in the zone. I will say Pages, his forte is mashing lefties. He hit lefties at a rate last year that only Teoscar Hernandez was better at. He had a .917 OPS versus Southpaws. Only Teoscar was better. He has faced tough lefties, Tariq Skubal, Chris Sale, Imanaga, guys like that. But he was 92 up in the zone, and he looked overmatched on that pitch, looked a little in between. Then bottom of the 8th inning, Luis Garcia out there. It looked like the Phillies were going to tack on more runs. Garcia walks Marchand and Schwarber, back-to-back walks to start the frame. Then he co-batters later after a Harper walk. You've got the bases loaded and 1 out. He did get turned a line to the left for the first out. And then it looked like at the very least they're going to get another insurance run, at least get 1 insurance run. But Kepler ground into a double play. It was a ground ball hit right to Kike. Kike steps on the bag, and then he gets it home to Will Smith. They tag out Marchand at home plate, and they get the inning double play. And it was a tightrope walk, and Garcia got out of it. No runs on no hits after loading the bases with 1 out. And the Dodgers had Ohtani, Betts, and Edman up in the 9th inning, so you thought maybe you'd have some hope. Alvarado, a great pitcher for the Phillies. He's someone that certainly is no easy task to try to score runs off him. Jose Alvarado, certainly one of the best relievers in the game, and it's a lefty, so not a great matchup for Shohei Ohtani. But Shohei, not a great at bat. He fouls off the first pitch, a cutter, and the second one, a ground ball to first. He grounds out for the first out. Mookie gets himself into a hitter's count. It's a 2-1 count. Then a couple of pitches later, hits a fly ball to left for the second out. Then Tommy Edman, he grounds to short to end the game. So the Dodgers, they mounted a comeback. They were down 4 runs, but unfortunately, they fall to the Phillies. The 11 walks were the killer. I mean, that's the biggest takeaway there. The 11 walks just not looking good, and the rain kind of impacting Tyler Glasnow's start. But let me know down below in the comment section. Let's get to you guys. What are your comments? What are your takes? What is your reaction to the Dodgers' loss? I think that my biggest takeaway is that this matchup in the NLCS would absolutely feed families. The teams combined to score 12 runs each during this series. And as Braveheart mentions, damn, the SF Giants are first. Yeah, the way it shapes up right now that technically they are. I think it's the first time since 2023 the Dodgers are not in first place in the National League West. We got tear the Pajes out of the Dodger playbook from Carl. Yeah, we'll talk about Blake Snell really quick here in a second, but I want to get all your takes first on the game. We got sports cards, report cards, 199. Pajes can't hit fly balls. We got Oscar says, we've got a lot of people talking about Andy Paz. Gary, only thing Paz is mashing these days is tortas or mashed potatoes. What are we talking about here? Kike, terrible defense too. I think Kike's been actually pretty strong, really, in the role that he has and what he's been expected to do. Freddie Freeman's your first baseman. He's going to be back when the Dodgers take on the Cubs at home the following Friday. Coming up here on his bobblehead night. We got Jose Aguirre. Shohei was a no-show this series. Y'all want to DFA him too? Yeah, I know, right? I think one of my second biggest takeaway too is this. It feels like the emotional toll of being a World Series champion, having an off season where you're doing things differently, you're making more appearances, you're going on more shows, your family's is pumped, everything's just elevated when you win a World Series, right? You're the guy, and for good reason too, rightfully so. Then on top of everything else, you have to start your season early in Tokyo. So yeah, everything that comes with that, early travel, going 10, 11 hours across the world, bringing your families there. It's opening day there. You got 45,000 people. There's so many media members there. I mean, I can tell you, like, there seriously was like more media there than it felt like a Super Bowl. Like that's how many Japanese and international media was present at that event. Then you come home, and then it's more festivities. It's opening day with the gold jerseys. It's ring night at Dodger Stadium. And then Shohei hits a walk-off home run. I think that all of that is starting to catch up on them a little bit. And now it's just about getting into a regular season. The ups and downs, the ebbs and flows. You're not going to win 162 games. You're going to lose 50 games, even if you're a really, really good team, right? So settle into the regular season. You got to take the good with the bad sometimes. And I think this series, they could have swept. I mean, you lost 3-2 on Friday. Today, you lose 8-7. It's not like they got blown out any of these games. And today, I think the aberration was Tyler Glasnow, who had pitched very well in his first 2 innings of work today. He just could not find his footing, so to speak, literally and figuratively on that mound in Philly. So yeah, I mean, look, no one's going to be too upset about a couple 1-run losses against a team that I think is the second most talented team in the National League, in the Philadelphia Phillies. So I would have preferred to see these teams face off a little later in the season when they're fully invested into the season and you got guys coming back and a little more healthier. But still, I mean, that was a really good Phillies team. Got to give them credit. They got some big hits they needed to. Castellanos getting that big grand slam. And even after the Dodgers take the lead, they were able to come back. And yes, Blake trying to have the best command during that inning. You had the play by Andy Pajes, but still, I think that the fact that Roki Sasaki came out of this series feeling better about himself is definitely a major positive. So let's talk about Blake Snell a little bit. We're talking about tomorrow too. You got Dodgers Dugout Live tomorrow. So definitely be ready for that. We got our 10 big takeaways. But let's talk about Blake Snell. The Dodgers, they placed the 2-time Cy Young Award winner Snellzilla on the 15-day IL with left shoulder inflammation. That gives the Dodgers now 12 pitchers on the IL. His first starts did not have great command. And yes, Blake Snell has a method to his madness where since 2021, he has the highest strikeout rate in the sport, also leads the league in walk rate. He leads all of Major League Baseball with the highest walk rate in that stretch too. So yes, he does have a higher pitch count sometimes. He does struggle with command every now and then, But really, it's the fact that hitters have trouble squaring up his pitches. That leads to foul balls, longer at bats, this and that. But the command has not been there for sure. And you have to just point that out. And you look at his first couple of starts, he's had 4 walks and 2 strikeouts in each of his 2 starts. That's not going to get it done. That's not even the Blake Snell that has higher walks, right? So is that why the walk rate has been higher, because of the shoulder? I think it's possible. Today he was throwing a bullpen in Philly, and after, he had a conversation with Brandon Gomes. He had a conversation with the Dodgers training staff, and they decided to place him on the IL. I found it pretty interesting after the game during Dave Roberts' post-game scrum with reporters. He did say that they're going to evaluate him for the next couple of days and see if he's ready to make a start on Tuesday against the Nationals. And then the reporter told Dave that the Dodgers had already placed him on the injured list. So that's not to point out, oh, Dave didn't know something. That's to point out that at least it probably, to them, it's extremely precautionary. The fact that Dave's initial communication and knowledge of that moment was, oh, there's a chance that he could pitch in a couple days. So hopefully it's extremely minor. Hopefully it's not something that's serious. Look, I mean, let's get all the bad Blake Snell out now, right? The command issues, the not looking elite, the injuries. Let's get all that out now. And the history of his career has told us that this is par for the course with Snell, right? Not being great early, dealing with injuries early, then second half of the season, he's lights out. Statistically, I can break it down for you. I've done it on the show. I've given you all the exact numbers, but just for the simplified conversation here, I can tell you that second half of the season, Blake Snell is one of the very best second half pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball. So hopefully you get that version of Blake Snell. But he was lined up to start on Tuesday. But now the last 2 games of that National Series are TBDs, because Yoshinobu Yamamoto, they're not going to start him on 4 days rest. They're going to keep Yamamoto and Roki Sasaki on that 6-man rotation starter schedule. So you're going to, I don't want to tip it off too much, but you're going to see Robleski and Landon Knack most likely in those games, right? Those guys are going to be coming up. So that would be my prediction there with those 2. That's my prediction on those 2. I think Landon Knack, who last pitched Thursday, and Justin Robleski, he went 5 2/3 scoreless innings on Wednesday. So definitely want to see both those guys. So Robleski get a little lefty for a lefty action. Then Landon Knack is going to come up and do what Landon Knack does, and that's go out there, eat innings, be effective, and be the most underrated, underappreciated starting pitcher in the sport. Mr. Knack Attack right there. Now, as far as Snell, the move is retroactive to Thursday. So the earliest that Snell can come back is Friday, April 18th. So if you look at the Dodgers' schedule in April, they had the days off, which definitely helped. But April 18th, they'll be on the road against the Rangers. That'd be a Friday, April 18th. So that's all we know right now with Blake Snell. Shoulder inflammation, did not feel good coming out of a bullpen session. Went to the Dodgers training staff, had a conversation with Brandon Gomes, the Dodgers GM, and the Dodgers, they elected to place him on the IL. And I think that is a early takeaway from the start of the season. If there's any issues with any of the big name players, they're going to go on the IL. Freddie Freeman with the ankle. Mookie Betts with the stomach issue. They kept him out more games than he probably would have liked. Blake Snell in this situation. So hopefully it's not like it's this season of Squid Game like we see every year with guys getting down with injuries and us dealing with this. And last year the Dodgers had 40 pitchers on the mound. So hopefully it's nothing serious. But I do think that for Snell, I would say, I mean, Dave told me after the game that he felt like nothing was working for him in his last start. Fastball, I mean, he had the curveball a little bit there, but the changeup, the slider, Snell might be pressing just a little bit. Anytime you sign a massive contract like that, you might be pressing a little bit, but that is where they are at. But a couple more questions out here, a couple more comments, guys, and we will be out. We're going to be doing more and more post-game shows this year, as many as I could possibly do. So we're going to keep them a little tighter. We got new segments coming up, a lot of exciting stuff for the Dodgers Nation post-game show. So I want to appreciate all you guys for making this what it is. By the way, Matt Sauer, he was called up from AAA OKC. He was available out of the bullpen today if the Dodgers need him. So let's do comments rest of the show. Delirium 9, instead of wearing the Guggenheim patch on their sleeves, I think Chico bail bonds is more appropriate today. It's the comment of the show. Just because I love the Bad News Bears. Easily a top 5 baseball movie. I'm going to do my top 10 one of these days. But I love me some Bad News Bears for sure. A little fire take action there. We've got super chats, sports cards, report cards. I appreciate that. Claudia 11, I'm still hoping for Arnado. Kelly O'Shea, I love our comeback kids mentality. That's a positive. And bullpen has been solid before today. Considering how actually poor we've been hitting as a team, our drive has been great. Yeah, I mean, I think that is something that carried over from last year, right? The Dodgers led baseball with 43 comeback wins. You saw throughout the postseason clutch base hits coming through in big situations. I mean, Freddie Freeman hit one of the most clutch grand slams in history, right? I mean, so this is a team that knows how to do that. Having said that, though, it would be nice to not have to come back as much. I mean, 6 of their 9 wins coming in comeback form. It would be nice to kind of get a lead early. I mean, the first 4 innings, the Dodgers offense has been pretty quiet. Today was different with Teoscar Hernandez having big moments early on with the home runs, but still, I think that you want to have the comebacks when they're there. But if you look at win probability, unless another team kind of chokes away a little bit, win probability wise, it serves you right to get a lead and do it that way. Big Joe Smash, D-Mac, Dodgers are going to have their hands full with Philly. I agree. I want to see it too. I really want to see that. I want to see it. It's tough to win in the bank on the road, especially in the postseason. But BC, Trey Turner is hitting 370 for the Dodgers. Trey Turner. Man, I'll never forget the John Hamm promo after his season with the Dodgers. He hits. He steals. He fields. It's like, so you mean, breaking news, Trey Turner's a baseball player. You guys remember that? You guys remember the John Hamm little scissor reel he made for Trey Turner? Paz is 4 for 34, 118 with 5 walks. Yeah, we talk about Andy Paz. 199 super chat. Oscar Moore. Let's all pray for a Giants loss. Yeah. What's the score right now? Let's see. Giants. Let's see. Where are the Giants at right now? 4-3, bottom of the 7th at home against the Mariners. So yeah, we will keep tabs on that. We get deja vu with our pitching, Kelly O'Shea. I hope that's not the case. I really hope that is not the case because they don't want to deal with that again. We got $50 from Victor Banos. I think it's time to send Paz to Oklahoma and bring Eddie Rosario. You think it's possible, D-Mac? I've heard really good things about Eddie Rosario down there, and we don't know what his opt-out clause is. Rosario is someone that is a corner outfielder, so it's not like he would plug him into center field. I mean, theoretically, you could put Kike in center or Chris Taylor in center and have Eddie Rosario as another bench bat. But I think the Dodgers are trying to look for some stability at that center field spot. But I wouldn't be shocked to see Rosario get an opportunity early on. We saw what he's capable of in the postseason. Alex, I was prepared for first half Snell. Good job. See, that's smart. You guys should be more like Alex, who prepared herself for first half Snell. First half Snell is very different than second half Snell. They're going to need Snell down the stretch. That's from Gary A. Absolutely. Ask Barnes if Snell. Okay, we got the Rookie of the Year. Absolutely common Rookie of the Year for sure. We have stop freaking out. It's going to be okay. That's the message to Dodgers fans. Pasta King, Andy Paz has been a huge disappointment, both offensively and defensively. He needs to get sent back down or released. Nando, 390. Dodgers only win if D-Mac rocks the black vest. Should I bring back you guys called it a life preserver. Should I bring I might bring back the vest, man. I might bring back the vest tomorrow. You're right. It's a good luck charm, BC, and it was a good investment. We got the Jose Aguirre. D-Mac must have not violated a tort. Come on, Jose, bruh. I got a new bruh. We got to debut the new bruh. That's coming soon. But, guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We're going to be back tomorrow for Dodgers Dugout Live. So, yeah, you're going to see a more jam-packed Dodgers Dugout Live Monday through Friday. We're going to do the full hour there like we always do. The post-game shows, we're going to try to keep them tighter. We're going to add more segments. We got sponsorships, and it's definitely going to be an exciting year. Giveaways. If you haven't yet, I've been posting the Discord channel, so appreciate you guys join that Discord. Definitely do that. But that is going to do it for this episode of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. You guys are the best fans in the game. Hit me up with a subscribe. Hit the like button on the way out for your Los Angeles Dodgers. And most importantly, remember that there's nothing that brings us together quite like Dodgers